I believe one of our major purposes in life is to be constantly leveling up. And I don't mean that in a material or physical glow up kind of way. I mean that in a spiritually evolving and glowing up energetically. So I'm talking reaching those new levels of joy, of inner peace, of happiness, of understanding ourselves and others. You know, when the little pieces of the puzzle finally slot together and you can see the bigger picture? Those are really the little moments in life that keep me going and make me feel like I'm growing and leveling up in life. But in order to receive these new people, new blessings, new opportunities, new ideas, new experiences, we need to create the space and the room to let these flow and enter into our lives. So we can create the space by either one, increasing our energetic capacity, or by two, letting things go, clearing things out, and thus making room for these blessings to enter our lives. In my life, I have really learned that we need to get good at letting things go if we want these manifestations and blessings to really flow into our lives. I'm talking friends, relationships, thought patterns, situations, but by far, I think the hardest thing to let go of is relationships, romantic and friendship ones, especially the romantic ones. And I think the reason is that a lot of us get so stuck in that cycle that we're just so used to it. We've normalized it so much that the idea of leaving is genuinely petrifying and so abnormal. Or we've tried so many times and we've lost that battle with ourselves, where now you didn't trust yourself to leave. So firstly, I want to emphasize that letting go of a person situation is so much easier when you want to let it go. So rather than doing it because it's the right thing to do or what you should do, I want you to do it because you want to do it, because you're done with it and you want more for yourself. You want to follow through with that no contact. You want to let them go. You don't want to give them a second chance, and that has to come from you. And it is so much easier when it comes from you than when you're literally like fighting every cell in your body to do something that you don't want to do. Honestly, letting go is so much easier when you want to let go and it comes from an internal space. So before I continue, let's talk about some universal truths that you have to believe as you watch the rest of this video. Your belief system is so important. This concept of universal truths is important in my life because I saw this quote and I wrote it in the first page of my journal, and it goes, "The universe will bend and turn to mirror your internal beliefs into your reality." Essentially, if your belief system assumes positively and you have a set of beliefs that actually empower you, you have a better outcome in your life, essentially. So number one, your life gets better. I think way too often I hear from people older than me that your life gets so much worse and enjoy your life while you're young. I'm not here to invalidate their experiences, but I think it was something that was so fed into me by society that it was like, as you grow older, life gets worse. Wait till you get to the real world, blah blah blah. But if you go through life thinking life only gets worse with time, and obviously time is going to pass, you are just going to have a negative outlook on life. I think it's so weird because in life we're literally going to get older, like that is normal, time is going to pass. So why do we go through life thinking, yeah, my life is going to get worse, like just waiting for it to all hit? Like, why would I think that? That is just so silly, and I would be so depressed if I didn't think my best days were coming. I'm not saying it's all going to be perfect, but you've got to think the net effect will be more positive than negative. I think a big part of why we hold on to things and we don't let them go is because we're so scared of what the future holds, the unknown. But what if we had the mindset that things get better, like your life is supposed to get better? So what if I told you that your best days are yet to come, your happiest moments are yet to come, you have yet to meet the most wonderful people? Yes, you can't see the future, but you've got to feel that it's just gonna get better. And honestly, once I adopted that belief system, things got better. But if you think about it logically, as we grow older, we should be getting more wiser, more forgiving, learning to be more compassionate, learning to understand ourselves and other people better. So really, why shouldn't life get better? If you think, you know what, my life is supposed to get better with or without this person, I believe you'd be so much more likely to let them go. Universal truth number two, we are all souls on our own unique individual spiritual journey. However, we are not alone. We're guided throughout this whole journey. I really do believe in God, and I do believe in the universe, and I believe that they reward us for taking the risk. When you put your faith in God, God loves you. God is just like, thank you so much for putting your faith in me. I'm going to make this so much easier for you. I'm going to give you all the tools you need. I'm going to help you out because you trusted me, and I will never let you down because you trusted me. So I really think that when we start remembering that, you know, yes, we're in this journey of life alone, but we're also working with God. I think it is genuinely scary to let go of somebody, someone that used to text all the time, call all the time, tell all your personal ish to, but you're not alone. And when you walk in that faith in God, despite having that fear, because naturally it is very scary to just completely let somebody go, I believe God rewards us 10 times harder because we have faith in God. Yeah, like it's scary, but it won't be a horrible journey because, like I said, you're divinely protected and guided throughout these journeys. And you know, you never know how it is until you finally leave. I know it may seem like I'm making a big deal by letting somebody go, like, girl, just let him go. But if you're anything like me, and it's very rare for you to actually click with somebody, so when you finally click with them, you're like, I don't want to let this go. But you know deep down, this person's overstayed their time in your life and you've given them too many chances and it's time to let go. It is scary. It is so scary. And that's why I'm making this video, because I want to tell you that when you completely surrender to the process and you take that leap of faith to leave, you do get the answers and you do come out the other side. And I want to say that because I know how it felt to be really scared to just take that leap. Universal truth number 3, it was always meant to be this way. So if it took you 4 years to leave a relationship or 40 attempts to say, I'm done, and you kept going back, blah, 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 the last thing you need to do is to beat yourself up over it. Guess what? You don't have to do that. There's no point in regretting I should have left years ago, months ago, and constantly hold on to the way things could have been, because it was always meant to be this way. I always say, God knows what you did yesterday, today, and what you'll do tomorrow. And God loves us throughout all of it. So you don't need to do this. It's a choice to not forgive yourself. It wasn't like that. It was this way because it was meant to be this way. So just remember that. I forgot what number we're on. I feel like we're on 4. Universal truth number 4. You have everything you need inside of you. You are a parent to your inner child. You are your own best friend. And you are the creator of your life. I truly believe that within each one of us, we have a divine space that knows all the answers to our questions about ourselves. And if we truly sat down and honored our intuition, our guidance, and what we truly wanted and needed and held our own standards, you would need to take drastic change. And because that is so scary, we don't want to really sit there and do that, because it's like, damn, that's going to take a lot of work. So I'm going to just ignore that and be a bit lost for a while. But if we sat down and meditated with ourselves or journaled long enough, we would get to the answers. Which brings me on to the next part of the video, which is some steps you can physically take to help to let go of somebody. Step 1, you can write a why list. Why are you letting them go? Why do they no longer serve you in your life? Why do they not fit in your dream life? This is not the same as an ick list, because in my opinion, when you truly love someone, an ick list will just not cut it. It has to be more than a superficial ick list. You've got to write about how it benefits you letting them go, spiritually, emotionally, in terms of your own self-confidence, in terms of your own self-respect. Because when you're in something very toxic, you're constantly arguing, and they're the kind of situations that are the hardest to let go of. So you've really got to write those out. This list needs to withstand those times when you want to reach out and go back. So it needs to be emotional and logical. So really center your list of why around self-love and self-respect. Step 2, this is the odd one, but this one was like everything to me. It was to completely switch up my routine. So you need to add a daily morning habit that is challengeable but doable. It has to be something that tells you that you're prioritizing you, because after all, discipline is self-love. Intentionally dedicating a task for you to spend time with yourself is an act of self-love. And continuously keeping that up will help you build your self-trust, which will in turn build your self-confidence, because you know you follow through with what you say you do. The reason I say a morning habit is it really sets you up for the day and centers you in that deep self-love in the morning. It can be getting up an hour early and journaling. That's something I started doing years ago. That habit has stuck with me through my life, and it has genuinely changed everything for me, because that hour ahead just for me is just unmatched, because I am just with me, my own thoughts, and it's just the highest form of self-love, in my opinion. Can be getting up an hour earlier to exercise and go to the gym and commit to a new class. So for me, it is waking up at 5, going to Pilates and doing a reformer class regardless of what I'm feeling. The minute my body hits that reformer bed, it was just a huge feeling of accomplishment, and self-love because I kept that promise to myself. Another one could be simple as saying affirmations, but you've got to go outside and do them on a walk. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's got to be something challenging but doable. 3, a new hobby. Okay, so firstly, there's nothing more attractive than a person with hobbies. I don't mean your job or your career. Like, I'm a dentist. I was about to say I'm a dental student, but I'm a dentist now. I passed my exams. But step number 2 was about intentionally spending time with yourself. Step number 3 is about starting a new hobby, because in that way you're socializing with different groups of people from all walks of lives with their own set of experiences. Really and truly, all of these together basically create an identity shift, which is what we want. We want to completely switch things up and step into this new reality where that person doesn't fit in anymore, because your life is very different now. So I'll be honest, whenever I'm skipping these practices, it's because there's something inside me that I'm avoiding and emotions that I don't want to face. So that for me is a telltale sign that I'm avoiding my emotions. Step number 3 or 4, I've completely lost track, is energetically / digitally cutting them off. I'm such a block the person, delete the pictures, memories, the texts. The faster you do this, honestly, the faster you'll let them go. You stop that rumination process, and it is so silly when you're so stuck there thinking about the past. Sometimes you need to give yourself that tough love and just delete the memories, bless them and say goodbye, because they serve their purpose. It's done now. You don't need to hold on to that. When you hold on to it on your phone through pictures, through memories, through text, you are literally holding on to that person energetically. So yeah, that one is a must. I honestly can never relate to people that are friends or in talking terms with their exes. Like, I personally have got to say goodbye for life. And lastly, honestly, the most important thing of all is wish them well. I think this is such an important one because we all make mistakes, but as humans, we all deserve the chance to grow, change, and evolve. And forgiving them and wishing them well actually blesses you in return, because you're not harboring that hate, that negative energy inside you, which will only manifest as trust issues and stress. Honestly, like, I can't think of a good reason to hold on to like hatred and thinking like, well, they'll never find someone better than me. Like, really, like, do you really think, no, like, in the nicest way possible, do you really think God has not got someone for them too? And I know that might seem really harsh, but when something just didn't work out with someone, and you were immature, you made mistakes or whatever, you can't be the one saying like they fumbled, they da da da, because yeah, like, it's good for our ego, and like sometimes I fall into that too, but on a realistic level, like, let's just wish them well. Because when you're truly happy, someone else being happy and getting the blessings does not affect you. So instead, focus on yourself, focus on the things that you want, and wish them well, because they're just a stranger now. When you truly let someone go and you detach, they're no longer your ex or the person that you dated. They're just a person living their own little life through their own spiritual journey. Obviously, that doesn't apply to abusive people, because I also believe karma is real. Sometimes we want to hate our exes because we just don't want to feel the grieving process. So yeah, I really hope this helps somebody. I tried to hit based on some points that were a bit more unique than what we see on regular self-help videos, because I think they all have a place, but this is kind of the stuff that, like, at the end of the day, this stuff really, really helped me. So I'm sharing it.